Hi guys, I have my vampire fangs and everything for the interview. Let's do
Nice.
this.
Nice.
Love
So
it.
bear with. So off the bat, quickly, I wanted to ask you guys, what are some of your all-time favorite vampire movies? Let's start with Debbie.
Yeah, I love Lost Boys. I love I mean, it's so cool. It's so punk. I think David Powers is like iconic as a vampire. And it's just such a good, it was sort of probably my first visceral relating to a vampire movie. Being like, oh, this is metal.
How about you, Lucy?
My two favorites are Interview with the Vampire and What We Do in the Shadows.
Nice. Are you
Yeah.
watching the series?
No, I haven't actually watched the series. I just adore the film. So it's like, I don't know, when you're really attached to something, it's hard to like get to the next thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's really good. One of the things I really enjoyed about the movie was the mythology and the world building. We get to learn a little by little about how things have been working out between vampires and humans. So it gave me John Wick vibes with Collateral. I don't know if you guys remember the films. But I want to ask you, Debbie, was this aspect of the story something that attracted you to the project?
Definitely. I think anytime you go in to something that is sort of has its own plays by its own rules, the most important thing is to be able to speak with a filmmaker who understands the rules of the world. And we sort of in so many conversations got to find a lot of those rules of the world and of those stakes, and some of them were scaled back and some of them we leaned into more. But I think it was important for all of us, the screenwriter, Brent, Lucy, myself. George's character doesn't really know them and he's discovering them, but Alfie, all of these sort of hierarchical heads of the vampire kingdom, it was helpful for us to all understand that. And then from an acting perspective, sort of watching big cats and how they interact with their prey and how they interact with like a member of a different species and a baby, like it just is sort of watching all of those things and folding them together and creating this dynamic was so much of the fun of it. And being able to do that alongside Lucy for most of the project was also a gift because she's so thoughtful about world building and character building. So it was a fun collaboration.
Lucy, in the movie, your character Zoe, she's a little bit colder and calculated for various reasons, but still manages to be cool the whole time. So I want to ask you, how much fun was it portraying a vampire with this personality?
Yeah, I loved playing Zoe, and I loved that she's kind of the bad guy and has been a vampire for so long. And I talked with Adam about it a lot, that she's kind of been around 200 years. So she's a little bored by things and just like is cool and calculating to gain the power for herself and for Blair. And Alfie's character, they're trying to take over LA in this night. And at the same time, she wants to have fun because she's, been alive so long. And yeah, it was so much fun playing that dynamic with Debbie, because I feel like Debbie brings out like a playful side of me because we get along so well. So acting together, it was like I could be in Zoe and be super harsh and driven and power hungry. And then just, being with Debbie, I would just want to stop playing also.
Yeah, and it definitely works in the film.
Yeah, I'm so
Vampires,
grateful.
vampires for a long time have had their own set of rules to follow in movies. No sunlight, garlic crosses sticks to the hearts. So I wanted to ask you guys, if you could eliminate or add a new rule to those rules, which one would it be? Let's start with Debbie.
Part of me wants them to be able to go into the sun. But part of them, but I think that some of the unique characteristic of, as sort of we experience the human condition, which is really largely informed by the urgency of mortality and our relationship with the sun and sort of getting vitamin D and getting sunlight and our circadian rhythm. I think that part of the sort of mania involved in so many vampires, and certainly where we found our characters from, is the fact that they are the exact opposite of that. And I know a lot of friends who only work nights and work graveyard shifts. And that is like it brings out a type of personality, and it sort of is a unique characteristic. And I'm curious what it would be like if they were out in the sun day to day, messing around. Maybe they would just be a little bit happier, a little more serotonin.
Before wrapping up, how about you, Lucy?
Yeah, as Debbie's saying that, I'm kind of thinking about like maybe the moon, like maybe it would be cool if like on a full moon, to like, embrace if there was a rule where vampires could like grow wings on a full moon or something, like how werewolves come out on a full moon and like they could fly on a full moon. Like I feel like that would be a cool rule.
Thank you for taking a little bit of your time to talk to me and appreciate it. And congratulations on your new film. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.